When I think about the years I have spent by your side, I think of raspberry fields. I imagine you brushing your fingertips along the bristled bundles of berries, browsing for the best of fruit for our morning yogurt bowls. I would tell you to stop letting your hand get cut by the thorns, and you would look back at me, annoyed on the surface. But deep down, you would be blushing with pure bliss, because you know that as long as I am by your side, your own safety is of no concern to you. I ponder how so many days, weeks, and months could have passed in as little as 4 years. Yet 4 years. I have had 4 wonderful, exciting, difficult, yet beautiful years with you. You always tell me you aren't strong, but that's simply not true. And you constantly describe your eyes as boring because they aren't a bright color. But the proof you are mistaken to both of your claims lies in your reflection. Strength can come from many places, and yours comes from deep within you. You are the most beautiful, strongest woman I have ever met, and in your eyes is an unparalleled glimmer of pure peace. Your eyes are as deep and strong as a 1,000-year oak tree, but the bark in your eyes is soft and silky, as fluid as the ocean. However, an ocean of bark is an unfit description for the pools in your eyes. Your eyes are closer to that of the raspberry fields, or rather one of the many fruits gathered. In your eyes float your entire life's experiences, relationships, tragedies, trauma, and overwhelming compassion. In your eyes, I can see the past 4 years gleaming back at me. And resting on its mountainside are all of the lessons you learned along the way. You carry them with pride, like a village built on a slope, surviving for generations and generations with no intent to leave their family home. I would not dream of justifying the things I have done that wronged you. I carry many deep regrets for the many mistakes I have made, as I look back on the field of blossoming red fruit that was our journey together. I only hope that I did less harm than good. It wasn't all thorns and bad berries after all, but I still often wish I could go back and change the past. Doesn't everyone wish they could go back and fix cracks before they were broken? Are we broken? No, I don't think so. You and I are like a river that streams a constant stream into a pond 40 feet below. I have festered in my unyielding desire to not be alone. As I grow older, I realize it's not a matter of loneliness, it's a matter of purpose. I am a mere pond, shiny on the surface, waiting for something to change. I sometimes feel I have no individuality, for my water does not move without contact. Any ripple on my surface is an outside force coming and going, eventually leaving me in isolation with my still water. I do not know what I wished for. Perhaps another pond near me, because that is all I could possibly fathom. As a small pool cut off from the rest of the world, I could never imagine water in a form other than my own, until you came rushing into my life. Or maybe it was me rushing ahead. See, just as I could not imagine any water other than a still, standalone body, you were born as a beautiful river, destined to stream down and across the world. You had been running water all your life, and it's what you were used to. How can you imagine being anything other than what you are fundamentally, at the core? And just as I longed to be near another body of water, you searched for another rushing river. You searched for a river to run alongside you, and by the time you began to wonder what the point of it all was, you had decided that maybe it was time to give your water a rest. Your quick streams longed to slow to a halt and just be still, but you had never seen or heard of such a thing. How could you know what still water is when your whole life has been playing in front of you like a movie? That's the difference between you and me. You are a stream of brilliant running water, unable to control where you go. I am a still pool, longing to be near someone like me. Neither of us got what we initially wished for, but I could never want anyone other than you. Together, you and I create a waterfall. Together, you and I complete one another by creating something new. A pond and a river are individual and already defined, but a waterfall is something neither of us could have predicted because it is unlike anything we could ever conceive of alone. Why would a pond that knows only tiny ripples expect to become a bubbling bridge between stationary and flowing waters? Who would have looked up, of all places, 40 feet above to find the answer they were looking for was crashing down upon them? And likewise, how could a river who has been moving through the earth from place to place all of her life imagine a destination? You never stopped flowing, but you did reach me. See, I am a pond because I adapt to the people around me. I imagine myself as a blank slate, a clay pot in the making, malleable just enough to please and change for whomever I need to. Which is why for you, my love, I was happy to welcome your waters rushing 40 feet down into my boring pond. United, you give me movement, and I give you rest. United, you and I are the greatest form of water to ever exist, because we complete one another without diminishing who we were before meeting. United, you and I will have rushing waters, big ripples, small ripples, and resting pools for the rest of our lives. You do not define me, just as I do not define you. But what you and I define together is perfect. The crashing river may seem heavy at first, if you stand directly beneath it. But my favorite part about our whole journey is how your waters sink into mine, as you drift away from the cliffside into my arms. You showed me love. You showed me what it was like to be a bubbling stream, overflowing with joy, and in return, I provided you with a home where you can lay your head. You can finally rest with me, just as it was always intended. You could never control your own path, just as I could never move. But you and I were always each other's destinations. I am sorry I could not reach you sooner. And I am sorry for all of the times that I have taken away your place of rest. I thought perhaps I was always meant to be a collection of rushing waters, and it consumed me. I will not pretend to know what it is like to be a river. Truthfully, I should have spent more time teaching your waters to be still, to enjoy the quiet, to enjoy the sinking feeling you get when you finally come to rest. Perhaps the pool I saw in your eyes was my own reflection staring back at me. Only it was you longing to be still. Maybe that's why when you look into my eyes, you see a bright blue ocean of crashing waves. The truth is, your deep brown eyes are neither an ocean nor a river. What I see in your eyes is the sweet taste of kindness and love you shared with me for the first time all those years ago. The sense of being cared for by another human being in a capacity that only you could reflect. Your eyes are a representation of the very first fruit in the fields that you so graciously picked for me to consume. Your eyes are not murky, or boring, or dull. Your eyes are a bright, beautiful, deep, sensational brown. And staring back at me is the clearest reflection of a most calming pool of raspberry tea.